United States Marine Corps boot camp. Everybody remembers where they were when it stopped being a movie and became real. And boot camp isn't necessarily about learning skills, it's more about breaking assumptions. Neil, do you remember when it got real?
As soon as I saw the DI come on the bus, because I had my assumptions, man, that it was like I already knew that they were going to be yelling and screaming and that whole thing, and I was like, whatever. But nothing. I don't think anything really prepares you I think for the shock of just how loud they can be. Like you've heard everybody in your life before then yell and scream and all that, but they had that menacing. You almost felt it inside your chest, kind of bellowing scream. It was like, oh damn, okay, yeah, this is something different. It's something else than what I thought. I didn't expect to actually feel the damn screaming. But yeah, man, that's when it became real for me. Honestly, whenever I first heard the DIs welcoming us off of the bus.
I think everybody, you've got to remember that. We all remember the yellow footprints. We all remember the two hatches.
Yep.
You
Yep.
go through them once, only once.
Yep.
But even before that, so I thought I was a smart guy, and they gave us like these, I don't know, like fucking cashier's checks or some shit that
Yeah.
when we left MEPS so we could get food, and we were leaving St. Louis, and I was flying with two female recruits, and I was like, hey, let's not spend all the money here. Let's because that way when we get to Charleston, South Carolina, we can get something to eat before everything begins. And we wore those stickers that said like USMC with the barcode on it. And I remember getting off the airplane, like coming out the jetway, and there was a dude, and I'm like, I didn't know that they were supposed to be there, and it was a dude in a Smoky Bear. He goes, "Get the
Yeah.
fuck over there!" And I mean, I was like, "Damn, dude, I got like $20. I was gonna buy like food with.
Yeah.
Um, that's gone." And yeah, like, dude, that got me, man. I had no idea that it started in the fucking airport, like
Yeah.
before we even got to Paris Island.
Yeah. That dude, that's also something I found very interesting, man, is that some people were greeted getting off of a bus, getting off of a van, and getting off of an airplane. Like you had different ways of being greeted. So I actually got a question for you, man. Did you have to get another kind of greeting with the yellow footprints?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and this kind of goes into some of those things. I don't want to get too far off track here, but we both watched the show Boots. I
Yeah.
remember so the DI at the airport, they put us on the bus. And dude, that bus driver, he was a civilian, but like he was some
Yeah.
kind of a DI something too, man. Cause like you didn't talk on that fucking bus.
Yeah.
I remember them saying, like, I think it was like a 45-minute ride or something, but whatever. They told us, close your head or close your head, close your eyes
Somehow you'll do it.
and sleep now because it'll be the last sleep you get for at least the next 3 days. And no one was talking. Like we believed that guy. We had no reason to doubt him, especially after what we just experienced in the airport. So,
Yeah.
we got the last little bit of sleep that we were going to get for the next 3 days. That was that was kind of interesting, and it's funny too because like the Marine Corps and boot camp, they do not care who the fuck you were. Like all they care about is who you're willing to become.
Yep.
And recruiters lie because oh yeah, you're going to be a stud, and you might be a PT stud and all that, but I don't know about for you. I did athletics growing up, hockey, football. For me though, the physical part was never the hard part in
Mm-hmm.
boot camp.
Yeah, yeah, same, yeah, same way. I was always into, and I didn't play any like organized sports, but I was always into sports, like getting together with all the neighborhood kids and all that, like every single day, every summer, winter, blah blah blah. I mean, it was nonstop. But the gym as well. I'd been in the gym and all that stuff, and it's I liked staying in shape, and I was like, well, this should help me out a little bit, but
Yeah.
it is a different kind of it is a different kind of physical strain and stress that they put you under, because the old saying is fatigue makes cowards of us all, right? So I mean, it's all very much mental, and that plays into how you feel physically. Believe it or not, it's, if you're sitting there saying, "Oh man, I'm dying. I don't know if I can go another mile or whatever," then you're probably going to be shitting the bed on that last mile or whatever. But yeah, that's something that I don't think a lot of people realize. Who've never experienced it themselves, is that you could be in the best shape. You could be the best in physical shape. You could be the best in your entire platoon, company. It doesn't matter, but the second that there's a damn a wrench, a monkey wrench thrown in that brain housing group of yours, saying that oh man, no problem, I got this because I'm a PT stud, and as soon as that happens, man, it throws you off, and next thing you know, you're sitting there, you're gasping for air, and you're like, damn, what happened? you know, it's happened to me. It's happened to me a couple times. I'm like, oh shit, man, I'm really hurting right now. You can't say it, but you know plenty of times
And
where it goes through your head. Suffer in silence.
and they'll find a way. Like they will break you. It doesn't matter how strong you are. And it has to happen
yeah,
because we need to know what we're capable of when we're fucking broken.
yeah, yeah.
And even then, as we talk about Paris Island and MCRD, the whole "We Make Marines," and as we're getting ready for this episode, I got to thinking about Marines aren't really even made in boot camp. You earn the title, like
Mm,
technically, yeah, you are a Marine, but you really once you get to the fleet, because even School of Infantry just or whatever the refs go through, I
yeah, yeah,
whatever whatever the personnel other than grunts go through at MCT and then their schools. Um, Even then, you're not a Marine. You are. I don't want to take away from anybody that get hate fucked over here on for saying the wrong thing, but I think that people who are like they get where I'm coming from. That once you get out into the real world, the day to day, living the life, doing things, taking care of yourself, not being yelled at to put your left sock on. Let's take your left sock
yeah,
off. Put your left
yeah,
sock on. Like
yeah,
that's not being a Marine. That's just instant willingness and obedience to orders
yeah,
and being able to function and operate in a high stress environment. Where's that high stress environment? I mean, not so much the fleet, not so much training. It's combat. Like everything they do is to prepare us for the high stress environment of combat. But one can argue that even on training, field ops, uh, even even in garrison, like you can have some high stress times. I know, like you know, I didn't really experience anything in the garrison that was like I would consider high stress, but you still learn how to operate. And another thing I was thinking about that I thought was kind of funny is boot camp gives you a super high inflated sense of self. Like once you become a
mm.
Marine, like
Oh
dude,
yeah,
just
yeah,
because you start calling walls bulkheads doesn't mean you're fucking chesty puller.
right.
You know,
yeah, yeah,
like you go home on boot leave talking to your mom or something. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go shut the daggone hatch. And fucking
yeah, yeah.
strut over there like John Basilone or something.
But that lets you know that those drill instructors, man, they did their job very well.
Yeah,
And because that's where it starts, man. That that installation of pride, right? Of being something much greater than yourself. You're a part of something that's way beyond just you, you know. And I, I it's funny because I find that to be one of the funniest things, man. Is just how motivated you are once you get out of boot camp. You know, you're highly motivated.
You'd be a lifer.
Yeah, man.
We
Yeah.
all are.
I'm 3 months in, dude. Sign me up for a 20-year contract.
Yeah.
But and again, I think also with, and this is kind of going back to what you were saying about how things can be, stressful, high stress. I think that's more like it's like once you break out of that student status, you've gone through boot camp, you've gone through your school, your infantry school. When you hit the fleet, like you said, I think that's when you really feel it. Like, yes, okay, I'm a Marine. Is you're expected to show up at this place this time, 15 minutes prior. You better be
Yeah.
ready, and I'm not going to babysit your ass. You squad leader, team leader is going to tell you what you got to do. You're going to be taken off to the field tomorrow. You better have your fucking gear off. The shit that you had laid out, you did that on your own with your roommate. Put the shit on your racks. That shit better be in your fucking pack when we head to the field tomorrow. And y'all motherfuckers better be in formation, packs lined up, everything ready to go. Hit the armory. We're taking off, and we're not going to be there to hold your hand during after work hours.
Yeah.
You guys are secure for Libo, but you know what you got to do. It's not just get shit face hammered. You can get drunk while you're putting your shit together. Just get it done.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Go and have a great fucking time, but you better fucking do your job.
So you were saying something kind of earlier too. You were talking about the drill instructors, how they did their job. What do you think is probably the biggest myth or the number one thing that people get wrong when they think about drill instructors?
Probably, probably that they and I don't know. I'm just assuming here, but I'd say probably that they hate the recruits, that they hate them. You have to train them hard. You have to be hard on them. And I think a lot of the big thing with that, especially whenever we were going through it during a time of war, it's the DIs have to get you ready for what may come later on down the road for you, as far as possibly being in combat or whatever it may be overseas. If you can't handle the stress that's being put on you and the strain that's being put on you in boot camp, what do you think it's going to be like if you're a prisoner of war? How much worse do you think it could be? So it's like, they're going to treat you like shit, but they don't hate you. They're building you up to be a Marine, breaking you down to build you back up to become that Marine. And I think that's I think that's personally, I do think that that's one of the biggest misconceptions, is that drill instructors hate the recruits. Now there may be some that do, but I'd maybe say they couldn't stand the private piles of the platoons.
Yeah.
That might be the only ones they hate.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. I don't think, and we've had Michael Sylvester on here a couple times. Well, on the episodes over on Spotify, anyways. And I'm kind of like going to gauge how this goes, and if people want more, information and details and depth on the boot camp experience, because all this is like, this is just coming from two guys that lived it, and we lived it. Well, February 23rd was the day I went to boot camp, so that's going to be 23 years ago. 23 years ago that I went to boot camp, and still very, very vivid memories. Of course, the drill instructors' names, all that stuff, and everything. Times have changed, like you said. They were preparing us for an ongoing war. Like, we invaded Iraq, in January, February, like right around the time I went, and then Afghanistan had been going on since around October of 2001. So there was no misconception of where we would end up,
Yeah.
and there was no misconception of for the drill instructors. It's not like the drill instructors who were leading Marines or recruits, training recruits up on September 10th, 2001, where they're just, I don't want to say just, but just making Marines. And then all of a sudden, September 11th, a Tuesday happens. Oh, we're making combat ready Marines. And even Sylvester
Mm-hmm.
said that when he was on here, that he's like, we were training you guys for war.
Mm-hmm.
It was different. He said it was different than when he went through boot camp in the 90s. So who knows what it's like now? Hopefully they've held up the standard, the tradition. The Marine Corps is really good at that.
Yeah.
You know what the biggest shock to me was? And remember Dale Dye was talking about this on the panel in Fredericksburg, how we all have to pass knowledge tests.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, listen, the
Yeah.
hardest part, if you want to know what's the hardest part of the Marine Corps, and I'd love feedback on this, or not the Marine Corps, but boot camp. I would love feedback. This is the hardest part, hands down, of boot camp, was staying the fuck awake,
Oh God.
going through those school sessions, learning about, and it's not because it wasn't interesting and great knowledge to have. It's because like you're just physically and mentally exhausted, and now you're sitting in. I think they were kind of comfortable chairs. I don't know. I mean, you were sitting. Let me just put it
Yeah.
that way. Like, first of all, you don't sit for like 13 weeks unless
Yeah.
you're eating for like
Yeah.
the 120 seconds that you're eating, or which reminds me, don't drink milk no matter what anybody tells you to do
Ugh.
if you go to boot camp, uh,
Never. No.
or when you're in the recruit training center. I think that's what they call it, like the RTC. And dude, just the bobbing,
Yeah.
that was taking place in there, and then your life was going to get ruined if you did fall asleep.
Yep. Then,
So,
then you'd be awakened very
so
rudely.
for me, I think that was, I mean, that was tough, man. You're physically, you're mentally exhausted. You're taking in all this knowledge, and you have to pass these tests, these knowledge tests, in order to become a Marine. And all the while, you're just trying not to fall asleep while you're sitting there in those chairs in like an air conditioned building. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Comfort.
They did that on
Comfort is
purpose,
the
man.
enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's your enemy. Yeah. That's something else they were really good at too, man. They would, I think that they, of course they did it on purpose, man. They knew it was comfortable. They knew that you've been going nonstop, and now you have to sit here and do the one thing that you thought you'd be done with for the rest of your life, and that's go to school, right? And
Yeah.
you got to sit there. What is it? Death by PowerPoint. And you got, man, damn. And I'll never forget, dude, that feeling of, I don't know. It was like ever present, man. The feeling of heavy eyelids, man. It's just like, oh damn. I have to do something to stay awake. And again, that's probably part of the training. Find a way to stay awake. Every little thing has its purpose, and it may seem ridiculous. It may seem pointless or just cruel, but it has its purpose. And that, I think that's sleep deprivation training, honestly, and then trying to retain information, knowledge, while
Yeah.
you're dog tired.
Did you, again, going back to like boots and not so much, I think, I mean, to me, I don't know about you, Full Metal Jacket did one of the best jobs of showing boot camp. So, in the show Boots, man, they were hanging out talking a lot.
Yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
dude, you had, what was it, like an hour maybe of senior drill instructor square away time?
yep,
And that was for writing letters, reading letters, and then
yep.
squaring away your shit.
Hmm.
And bro, we weren't hanging out, smoking and joking. You did
Yeah,
not like go talk to the. If other people had other experiences, I'd love to hear them. I'd love
yep,
for them to drop them in the comments,
yep. Please.
because most of the people like you I've spoken to, and because I'm like, dude, did you experience that? No,
Yeah, no, no, I
no.
don't remember having a lot of time to just sit there and shoot the shit.
There
Because
was
again, everything was structured and planned, and you stuck to that schedule. And you better have your shit squared away for the next day. If you've just been sitting there fucking off,
yeah.
during that senior drill instructor square away time. I mean, that's why it's called square away time, because you had to be ready for the next damn day. But I really don't remember actually just sitting there
No.
and being able to shoot the shit. I'm really trying to think right now.
There's one time that I do remember. Lights were out. It was early on, and there was people on the top rack next to each other trying to talk. And dude,
That's
fucking
about it.
Di came out of nowhere and just Spider-Man jumped up there, and like I don't even know what happened. It wasn't even real. Like the thing is, the funny thing. We there's a couple things about boot camp we've said before. It's the funniest place you're not allowed to laugh.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you ever rode a New York subway, it's kind of like that. Like, don't fucking laugh. Like, don't look at people. Don't laugh. Heads forward. Pay no attention to what's going on around you.
Yeah.
Um, but also, it's probably the most honest place.
Yeah.
People are just the pain is real, the fatigue is real. They're not gonna bullshit you. Like they're gonna tell you how it is when you screwed up, how you messed up, how to fix it, all of these things. And but the one thing that I just I don't really remember many people's names. You hear like shows and stuff. Like I said again, where people are hanging out talking. Like, dude, I was there for 13 weeks, and like maybe our guide's name.
Hmm.
There might be like
Yeah.
5 dudes out of 70 who I could tell you what their name was.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
Like we
It's
didn't
great.
make friends.
Nah, man. Because it was. I mean, wow. Damn, I never really actually sat and thought about that, man. You're right. I maybe five.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
like guide, scribe, house mouse. I think I know his name.
Yeah.
Dude across from me. I can't even remember the names of the dudes next to me. Like the dude I shared a rack with.
Yeah.
Like just
Gr-
so. I think that that's a myth where when you see people that they become friends, a different thing. I mean, I fuck again. Like maybe it's not a myth. Maybe just I was in a weird platoon and some alternate universe and experienced boot camp differently. Possible, I guess.
Man, one of the guys that I became tight with in boot camp. Of course, we went our different directions, and social media wasn't a thing really back then.
Yeah.
Um, he went to his unit wherever he went, and I went to mine, and we were. This sounds so bad, man, but we were pretty tight in boot camp. Went our separate ways, and for the life of me, I can't remember his name now. Can't remember his name. I still see his face and everything. I can remember what we did. We had like a ritual before, like getting ready to take off and all that shit, and uh, it's pretty corny, but it motivated us. But now I can't remember his name, man.
But you bring up a good
Crazy.
point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, like when you have family day and stuff now, you can be like, hey, yo, yeah, you're on Facebook or what's your number? Yeah, I bet like people are coming out of boot camp, keeping in touch with one another,
Yeah,
at least like Facebook shit. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we didn't have that.
yeah. Wasn't a thing back
Yeah,
then,
we got
man.
the, what? I just actually thought about like I have the yearbook or whatever you call it, like the red graduation book thing that has
Oh
people's
yeah.
names in it.
Oh
It's like,
yeah. There you go.
yeah, I guess I don't remember if it had first names in it, but I mean, I guess if one
Oh
was
man.
determined enough,
Yeah.
I just,
Yeah. You
I
could,
don't know if I
yeah.
have it.
You could probably go off of last names, and but what's also crazy? You might find that same last name, but there might be like 5 or 6 different last names, and then you can't go off appearances anymore because
No,
they changed. So because it's
yeah,
been 20 years, 20 plus years, and So it's crazy, man. It really
I
is.
did stumble across my senior, and like some, I don't remember how it was. Maybe I looked him up because I actually knew his first name. And
Yeah,
so I think that might be what happened is I looked him up and found him. And of course he doesn't remember you, like
yeah, yeah,
there's however many cycles they go through and
yeah.
how many people they see. But, you know, yeah, we got in touch and talked a little bit. That was pretty cool. I think whether you're going, or you're a family member, one of the biggest things is that the change, I would argue, like, is for life. I feel like there's no going back. Like once
Hmm.
it happens, like you don't have to call it 1400 anymore. You can kind of be somewhat normal again, call it 4 p.m. So there is some going back, but I think that as far as a lot of what they put into you, and we've even had comments like on our TikTok stuff where people are like, yeah, man, I just, you have that Marine mentality and you kind of just have it for life. Like it truly is one of the things that you have like a new identity.
Hmm.
Like whoever you were before, like that shit's gone
Yeah,
because it doesn't work.
yeah, yeah. It is, man. It does change you, man. I think it's. I mean, I mean, it has to when especially. And I guess we could keep on, saying this, prefacing with this is that we were training during, a time of war, and you have to change. You have to be ready for what's possibly going to come your way when it comes to your life as a Marine infantryman, with us specifically. And I think when it's as profound as that, you just won't find anything else like it. And I don't know if that's just like a byproduct kind of a thing, or what, but I don't know. I've tried to, you know become friends, like with people outside of it, years and years later, and it's not like they're great people, great friends, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
There's nothing that will and I've grown into, saying you can't expect it to be the same. You'll never find that anywhere. Um, because it's profound. I'd say it's life altering.
I think
That.
one of the coolest things you talk about meeting new people. I think when you meet new people like after the Marine Corps and they're Marines also, and not all of them, there's always like that 10%, but a fair amount of them, I find that it's crazy. It'll never be like the guys that you went to combat with, like never, but it's still super crazy close. And people are like, man, it's like you guys have known each other your entire lives.
Mm.
And it almost feels that way.
Yeah.
And this kind of goes to, like one of our last recent posts that it's like from 1775 to eternity, man, we are all the same. And the Marine Corps does an incredible job at making it that way. Like
Hmm.
you go meet a Vietnam vet, a Korean vet, and it's just instant brotherhood, man. Different place, different climb, different place. Even
Yeah.
different uniforms, different technology, different weapons, but the core of the individual is the same. And to me, that's just so fascinating.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like,
It really is.
yeah, just unbelievable.
Man. And I think and this is what the Marine Corps is very, very good at. And again, I think it's very much intentional. I think the reason for I think one of the biggest reasons for us being the way we are, and when we meet other Marines and we know, is that from 1775 all the way up until now, 2026, the Marine Corps it's so steeped in tradition, and that never changes.
Yeah.
That just doesn't go away. You can relate. We If they were alive today, we could relate to the Revolutionary era. Those guys.
Yeah.
We because it's tradition. We know about those traditions from way back then, 250 years ago, because it's still here. It's ingrained.
Yeah.
It's something that we're very proud of, and I think it's one of the coolest things the Marine Corps has ever done. And I'm so glad that they've done it, and that it is a thing. Is traditions, the traditions of the Marine Corps, man. It's fucking beautiful to me.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's you can relate. So it's just so easy to relate to other Marines when they know they share those same traditions, that lineage. There's nothing like it, man. There really isn't.
Could you imagine a dude probably like was in Montezuma or Bella Wood? Like
Oh,
they'd be like, "What the fuck's a crayon?"
what the fuck is a crayon? Are we
Like
eating these
there's,
now? Is that?
and it's funny. Like yeah, I think I've like me personally, I feel like you really hit the nail on the head with that. That the reason that we're the same is because of the traditions that have carried through time, and when those don't
Mm-hmm.
change, the Marine Corps doesn't change. The Marine Corps doesn't change. The Marine doesn't change.
Yeah, it's all the same. The same from the very beginning.
It's
Just
it's funny. Again, I was talking with somebody yesterday, and do you remember when you got out of boot camp to the fleet? You didn't talk about boot camp because the only people that talked about boot camp that was their only experience in the Marine Corps. They didn't have any war stories or anything. So talking about boot camp is like this big bugaboo. You
yeah,
don't do it.
yeah. No.
And here we are, 23 years later, and like, I mean, a lot of people. That's one of the reasons we've done this episode is because I've had people ask about boot camp and my experience and different things and what it's like, and do you think it's the same? Do you think there's all these different questions and like, okay, well, we've got our little channel here, or Tales from the Core. We can do an episode or two on boot camp and help answer some questions and teach some people some things. And I think here's crazy. It's almost kind of like war, where like everybody remembers boot camp. A lot of them remember it differently. Like a lot of like it's hard to find like two same stories. Well, hey, it's hard to
Mm,
find someone that was even there with you to share the same story. But even like the feeling, like you and I went through at different times, and we talked to other people that went through before us, after us. The feeling is still the same.
mm-hmm.
Like we
Yeah.
all funniest place you're not allowed to laugh. The fatigue, the mental, the games, the motivation behind it, the purpose, all of those things. We all experienced the same thing. We just all experienced it differently at different times.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I mean, again, I think that's the beauty of it, man. It doesn't it doesn't matter. I'd like to believe that it's still the same. I I know it is. It has. Come on, it has to be, right? Like all the other military branches can do what they want, man. But damn it, the Marine Corps just stay the same, But yeah, man, it's everybody has endured. Anybody who's become a Marine has endured the suck of boot camp. Like you said, your own experiences. You may have gone through something you may have gone through the same shit together. May have run through the same obstacle course at the same time, side by side, and the guy that was next to you remembers it way differently. He remembers it being no problem while it may have sucked ass for you, and but you got through it
Yeah.
together. And yeah, man, it's I don't know. I think that's what also makes Marines great, like like great storytellers, is you just have different perspectives and you remember, well, it sucked this way, but it also sucked that way, and you combine these stories and it's the ultimate suck fest, and then you laugh about it and you remember, damn, It was actually pretty fun.
So
Sadistic way.
that coupled with when you said what makes us really good storytellers, like when you hear Marines talk about things, a lot of times we put things in terms and phrases and context because a lot of what we experience, like you kind of can't just say like, "Oh man, that sucked," Yeah,
Hmm.
because especially if you're talking to somebody that hasn't been through. So, and what it got me thinking about was when we were in Fredericksburg and I took off the blue glove. And Tracy's like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why would you describe it that way?" And it's like, we just describe things in the most extreme way possible.
Yeah.
Like my hand wasn't just a little wet, right? Like it was at a more extreme level. Like I had to
Yeah.
explain it. But everybody got the picture, right? Like
It,
everybody's like,
it,
"Oh,
it painted a very vivid, it's a very clear picture. It's like you're dehydrated through your hand. That's how
and
clear
that's
it was.
and that's like what when Badger was talking about how we're some of the, or I don't know, this is Josh. At Badger, we're a bunch of assholes. We're funny assholes. But Josh was talking about how we're like the funniest people he's ever met, and it's like what's kind of funny is what is actually funny is it's like our suffering because of the
Yeah.
way that we say things and explain our own suffering. It's
Yeah.
just the language we put it into, and people start laughing, and it's like, if anything, we're probably under exaggerating.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just
I,
can't put some things into terms, man. Like you just can't.
no, no, you really can't. Sometimes, sometimes, again, going back to the blue glove, sometimes you just have to paint a really clear picture, man, of how
Yes.
much something can suck. And
Or
that as an example, your hand was really, really hot and sweaty, and it sucked badly.
yeah, absolutely.
So you had to put it that way,
So
and everybody got it.
if you had one piece of advice for someone that's leaving tomorrow, they're shipping out, what would it be?
Tomorrow, um, expect everything. I guess expect everything. Expect everything not good. Just prepare for everything. Well, anything you've ever experienced in life that you thought was a shock then. Uh,
Have you ever
just
gotten a shot from a doctor before?
yeah, something. Man, damn,
So
that'd
the
be tough, dude.
like the shots that you're going to get from these doctors is going to be like the craziest fucking thing you've ever experienced.
The shots, yeah, yeah, and
Like,
that's not even the worst part.
yeah. Have you
Yeah,
ever straddled another grown man's ass after getting a shot in your ass with another grown man behind you straddling your ass and then rocking back and forth so the shot into
yeah,
your ass doesn't harden up? Okay,
yeah.
that's what's going to happen. That's one day. That's just
That's
one day. And there's what, like 70
one day.
fucking something days?
Yeah, yeah. You're counting training days and supposedly, right? Sundays was supposed to be the day that it messed with you.
Yeah.
That's
Have you ever
man. It's,
do you go to church? Oh, you fucking will.
you will, you will, you will go to church.
You
Yeah,
every Sunday.
you're gonna want that Sunday, man. You're gonna live
You're
Sunday to Sunday.
you're gonna be up there in front singing hallelujah.
Next
Hey,
thing you know, you're gonna be in the choir, dude. It's crazy.
do you enjoy getting your hair cut? Fucking not anymore, you don't.
Oh, that'd be another. That's a good piece of advice right there. Leave the hair on your fucking head, because
Yeah.
I kept my head like shaved like this. This is how
Yeah.
I kept it before going in. That didn't exempt me from sitting in the fucking barber chair. All they did was run a fucking razor over my bald ass head, getting nothing. And I'm like, oh my damn, this shit. I was seeing skin. That's all. I wasn't getting hair. I was getting skin. I was like, oh dude, this. I was a fucking dumbass. I was an idiot. And my mom told me, she's like, "Why'd you shave your head?" She's like, "Son, I wish you would have just kept your hair." And I'm like, I thought about that too, because I kept my head shaved for a few years before I joined. And she was so fucking pissed at me, man, when I first did it. She's like, "Oh gosh, why would you do that?" And I thought about that in the chair. I was like, I should have just left it. Should have just left my hair, just so they would have gotten something, you know. Instead,
Yeah.
they were trying to get my skin, dude. That's one I remember very well.
I'm
Damn
glad that you
hard.
said that because I was told by my recruiter, like, don't like leave hair. They said
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
said if you don't leave hair, they will take skin.
yep.
Like guarantee
They
it.
they do, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, it's and again going back to another one of the comments on the TikToks, man. This dude was is so funny because he was talking about how the Marine Corps has this just incredible ability to take any place, beautiful, nice, exotic place, and like just it was one of our Pellu posts, I think, and just fucking ruin it. And he's like, dude, if I've got to go up a hill to go camping, camping ruined, you
Yep.
know.
Yeah, forever.
And yeah, I mean, and then, man, I mean, and it doesn't end in boot camp, right? Like it's every Monday showing up fresh, like
Yeah,
clearly I despise shaving,
yeah,
like every day fresh shave, and it's just like, dude, enough,
yeah.
enough.
Enough of this shit. So that's why
Yeah,
whenever I you remember the what was it third phase when you were able to they let you they told you to grow your hair out so you can get a high and
yeah,
tight.
yeah,
As soon as that was over, man, back to shaving, bicking my head, and that's how I kept it. The entire save for maybe once or twice in Iraq where I let it come out just a little bit. Like longer ops, something like that out in the, out there outside the wire, and that was about it, man. I was like, nah, fuck that. And then even back, stateside, same thing, man. I'd be like, hell, dude, I didn't, not one time did I stand in a barber shop in line. I was in the damn mirror in the barracks, shaving my damn head. It's like, done. You see these assholes come walking in the barracks. They're like, man, shit, that fucking line was so long, dude. It's like, yeah, it sucks, right? I'm over there like half-ass drunk, like it's good times over here, and I'm already set, ready to go, shaved, fresh shaved and everything, ready for Monday, ready for Monday morning.
well, it's funny, man. 40 minutes or so, and we didn't. God, man, I mean, you could really, literally, probably break this down to like a week by week series and like actual in depth. Could still be funny, make jokes in light of it and everything like that. But there's so much that goes into it. So my hope for this is that those of us that have been through it hopefully got a good laugh. Maybe brought back some memories, things like that. If I would love I love hearing other people's stories and other
Mm-hmm.
people's experiences. So if you got a funny story, man, we're all grown. It's cool. We can talk about boot camp again, right? The shit,
Yeah,
boot camp stories, lights been lit.
yeah,
Um, if you haven't ever been through it, well, maybe you got a laugh out of it too. And well, no, I just don't think that we can help anybody understand, and we can do the best that we can, right? But it's one of those things you have to experience it. If you enlisted, if you're gonna go in, if you're a family member wanting to know what to expect, I mean, it's like the greatest fucking thing you'll ever do. Also, like the worst.
yeah, yeah.
So
So
there's that yin and yang of the Marine Corps, right?
yes, yeah, yes. Like what's that? I guess it's an old cliche, man. Some of the most rewarding things in life are the hardest things in life. You know,
Yeah,
it's very a very rewarding experience for sure.
like nothing easy is ever worth doing, or
Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
there's
that
lots of things like that.
a lot. Yeah, it all applies. It all applies to you know taking that step if you're one of them people that are going to be going in. Uh, it is very rewarding. It's not. It's
Yeah,
it's not going to always be fun, but you know. I mean, what is shit?
yeah.
Going to
It
work is not fun, but fuck.
It'll be the greatest and worst times of your life.
Yes, best of
And you
times,
know
worst of
what?
times.
And the thing is like you get through it, you do it. It's an accomplishment for many. I'd probably say the majority. It's going to be the hardest thing you've ever done at that point in your life. Hopefully, especially now, like we don't want any new wars or anything like that. So hopefully you won't experience it. However, I would say that, due to combat in Afghanistan, Iraq, boot camp was probably the easiest thing I ever did in the Marine Corps. So there's different circumstances change things. Hopefully nobody experienced that. But yeah, I mean, if you're going in, if you've been in, if you're going to be a family member, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you got questions, comments, drop them for us. And odds are, yeah, like more than likely, we'll do another episode and maybe go a little bit more in depth and maybe bring our good buddy Michael Sylvester, who is a drill instructor at Paris Island. For the short time we had a little overlap while I was there back in 2003. Then we went together to Afghanistan in '04. So kind of a unique experience. Bring him back on and answer some of those questions that you guys drop for us and tell some more Paris Island boot camp stories.
The funniest stories come from the DIs, man.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. I think we
best.
have maybe some other people who are interested in coming on and sharing stories too. So maybe we'll make this a little playlist, little boot camp playlist. So
I'm down. Yeah.
well, we appreciate y'all. We appreciate your time. We love you guys. Thank you for being here with us. And until next time, Semper Fi.